Josh Smillie is one of our prized possessions from the 2024 draft, and I know a lot of us are excited about seeing him line up in the middle and hopefully round one. But what if we were to throw a bit of a curveball out there? What if we were to suggest maybe we could utilise him off the half-back line? Now, before you shoot me down, there is some method to the madness, but the inspiration from this actually came from a post on the Josh Smillie thread from a poster whose username is Smiley, ironically. And they flagged that there's some video footage, which we're going to roll over the top of this, that Josh Smillie could offer us something really, really nice and positive off the half-back line. It's somewhere he has played before in his junior years, which I'll touch on in a second. With the theory being it's kind of like a similar role to what Sheasel has played for North Melbourne, Dacos for the Pies, Will Day for the Hawks. So a lot of these midfielders started off on the half-back line. They accumulated some good possessions. They were dangerous with the ball, had some small stints in the midfield before building their way up and building their tank up to gradually become full-time midfielders, which we're kind of seeing Sheasel walk into this year, I think. And I'm thinking that's not a bad point. I mean, as much as we would love to see Lawler and Smillie play in the middle from round one, they're not going to be starting midfielders from round one, and they're not going to be able to play 80% game time in the midfield number two. We've already established that Lawler's going to be playing a bit of half forward and midfield, which is what we've kind of seen at Match Sim and things like that. So for Smillie, maybe we put him at the other end of the ground. So you've got Lawler as a half forward midfielder, and you've got Smillie as a half back then into the midfield. And I actually really don't mind it. The more I think about it and the more I read, the more I'm kind of on board with it. Interestingly, looking at his notes from under 16 level, he burst onto the scene for the Vic Metro under 16 side in 2022. And he actually got named All-Australian on the half-back line before making his debut with the Rangers. So, interestingly, a lot of his coaches at that level were using him off half-back because he's got great skill, penetrating kick, accurate kick, pretty sound decision-making, and he was playing as more of an intercept marker. So he wasn't playing so much as a lockdown defender. So that was, he'd be kind of doing what we were hoping that a Gibcus would do or what Nick Vlauston does, playing that intercept sort of third or fourth tall. And I think there's a little bit of value to be had there. We've obviously lost Dan Rioli. I'm not at all suggesting for a second that Smiley's going to give us the same pace as what Dan Rioli had. Jaden Short's going to be occupying one halfback flank, I think it's fair to say. And the other halfback flank is still open for taking, I think. And we've thrown up names like Tom Brown, there's James Trezise, Caleb Smith. Now, Brown's probably everyone's front runner for that spot, but I can see value in him being used on a wing or a half forward line as well. I'm not sure if the coaching staff see that the same way or not, but he's got some exceptional weapons that I think we can explore in other avenues if we can put someone else behind the ball that's got equal or greater kicking strengths, which Smiley might have. So you've got on one side Jaden Short, who's going to be your dashing, creating halfback, who obviously can kick the ball a very long way. But then you've got someone like Josh Smillie, who has got the strength, he's got the size to mark, a lovely long kick of the ball, doesn't mind taking the aggressive kick, and maybe, and it's obviously hard to tell at this early age, maybe he will have greater skill set than Jaden Short from an accuracy passing perspective. Time will tell on that one, I suppose. But the fact he's not afraid to take off that dangerous kick inside the middle, 45 degrees, help opens up the play. It puts our midfield into more dangerous positions. I think that's really worth a lot in the way we want to play football. We want to be more aggressive. We want to be more attacking. We want to be more direct. And I think the way that Smiley uses the ball could actually complement it. So I wouldn't completely write it off. I wouldn't write it out as an option just yet. But I'm keen to hear everyone's thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. What are your thoughts on Josh Smillie playing on the halfback line as part of his induction into AFL football? Remembering he's got to play a secondary position of some kind. All right, and we obviously don't want him on the bench too much. But when he's not in the midfield, I think the halfback could be not a bad option. Given the footage we're seeing here, the fact he's played there before, was named All-Australian there, so he does some good work behind the ball. But yeah, just an interesting theory and one that I'm keen to hear everyone's thoughts on. So don't hit me too hard, but yeah, go easy. Have a think about it. Don't think we're trying to change plays long run. We're not going full Terry Wallace and trying to turn forwards into defenders and defenders into forwards. This is just simply part of his learning, part of his development, part of his initiation into AFL football. And it just seems to make a bit of sense. Lawler half forward midfield, Smiley half back midfield. What's there not to love? So let me know what you think in the comments below. And as always, make sure you like and subscribe for more Tiger content. And I'll see you on the next one. Go Tigers!